Hello, Jojo and Tom. How are you?
Very
A
well,
pleasure.
thank you. How
Very
are you?
well, sir.
Good, good, good. Congratulations on Those About to Die, premiering July 18. You both play siblings Domitian and Titus. And on the episodes, there was tension, there was jealousy between them, obviously opposite polar personalities. How did you create that dynamic? And prior to filming, did you guys get to bond as brothers?
I think it's important to say that, we're brothers on and off screen in very different ways. As you probably could imagine. I think if we were warring the same way that Domitian and Titus were, it would have been a very difficult job. But instead, every day was a real pleasure. And Tom is a very good man, if you don't mind me saying. And Tom, now you have to say some nice things about me.
Yeah, no, listen, man. I mean, like before we started shooting, no. To go back to your question, did we get to hang out as brothers before then? No, because the day after I arrived, we were shooting together, you know. But what we found, you know, very quickly was just well, one, we both are obsessed with guitars, so that came out very quickly, and then we spoke about that. But we look, you work with people and you can get on with people, but you find some people along the way and that really find a place in your heart. And Jojo's one of those. And so actually we we didn't really talk about work off set. And then on set there was just this kind of natural trust, I guess, that was there. We both seemed to work in a similar kind of rhythmical way, even though the characters were maybe not, you know, they may be in friction. It just made sense, and yeah, it was an absolute joy. I'd work with Jojo any day of the week. It was brilliant.
I'm sure you've gotten this question a thousand times, but I'll ask you this anyway. What's it like working with the great legendary Anthony Hopkins in between takes? What were some of the interesting, memorable moments you had with Anthony on the set that you can tell us right now?
Yeah,
The guy's a joker. He was cracking me up all day long. I think it's important to know that, like, as well as him being genuinely one of the greatest actors of all time, he's also incredibly funny and having an amazing time every day, which is such an like inspiring thing to be around.
yeah, for
Tom?
sure. I echo that completely. And you know, added to that, you kind of we all know what Anthony's bringing. You know, we all know. I don't need to spell it out to anyone. Everyone knows everything in terms of Anthony's prestige, shall we say? But like, he's just a real gentleman. Like, and for myself and Joe, who were the two that predominantly had most to do with him, and you got to kind of get in there and work. He created an environment where it's just so free, so trusting. If there was hierarchy in the story, there was zero hierarchy on a working day, and we just felt like a team, man. And he was one of the best teammates you could ever hope to have. And yeah, it was a thrill, a real thrill to work with him. Something I'll look back on fondly for a very long time. I adored it.
Guys, this timeless fascination about ancient Rome is incredible. Hollywood keeps coming back to it in ancient Rome again and again, including this one, Those About to Die. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the ancient Rome continues to captivate our imagination?
We're probably not the two people to ask, you know, because earlier we were asked the question, you know, that viral thing that went around, how often do you think about Rome? You know, both of us answered not that much really, you know. But when I landed in Rome and obviously I know of it. I grew up in a city that's a Roman city. There's a lot of architectural evidence of the Roman Empire in the city I grew up in. But when I landed in Rome itself for the first time, and it was my first time there, the scale of it, you know, the grandeur, the impact, and I think we do see the impact of it in in a lot of different avenues of modern day life. But I think it's just something about that time. There's the scale of it, the context of it, the size of it, and particularly in that city, how imposing it is. Like I said, architecturally, I think you know people just it feels the human nature is the human condition is something that is persistent and prevalent and relevant. But the context is everything in a story, and I think looking at these animals, particularly that we both play, it's the context of that really shows the human condition in a very extreme situation.
As much as I agree with Tom, I wasn't a history buff as such before filming the show. It is impossible not to get sucked into it when you're living in Rome.
Yeah.
And like having said that, I now kind of see how the Roman Empire has had an enormous and lasting impact on the world that we live in many ways, good and bad. Um, and so I think, and hopefully, there are elements of our real world that are still prevalent within our story set in ancient Rome.
Jojo and Tom, thank you so much, and congratulations on those about to die.